Now in this final movie of the first module, I want to consider the quality settings panel, which is very important because it can greatly affect how the quality of your game appears when it runs on your target device. It's possible that your game performs, looks and behaves one way when working in the editor, but you find that when you actually deploy the game to your target device, it behaves quite differently. And one of the reasons for that could be the quality settings. And I want to show you how you can access them and change them when you need to. So to access the quality settings, you move up here on the File menu and select Edit, move down to Project Settings and then select Quality. And when you do that, you will see in the Object Inspector that we get quite a range of different settings that appear. Now, of foremost importance are these levels and this chart that we can see here. Mapped to the horizontal axis, we have the different target devices. These are the devices where you can actually deploy our games to. So for example, notice if I hover the mouse over here, we get the web build. Here we get the standalone, which includes Windows, Linux and Mac. And then we have some mobile devices. Mapped to the vertical axis, we have the different quality settings themselves. And in fact, you can click on these to select them. And when you do that, you'll notice that down here, it actually changes these presets. So these quality settings actually represent different degrees of presets and settings that we have here, different combinations of those settings. Now of particular interest, notice that for each of these platforms and for each of these levels, we have some checkboxes that are marked in green. Now this means that that setting, that quality setting, is the default setting for that platform. So you will see that for the standalone platform, the checkbox marked in green is the fantastic quality setting. So by default, when you deploy to the desktop platform, the default quality setting is the fantastic setting. But notice that for mobile devices like Android and iOS, the default quality setting is quite different. It is by default the simple setting. Now you can change the defaults if you want to by moving down here to the bottom under the category that says default. And by clicking on the drop down arrow, you can change the default from say simple to fantastic. And you can do the same for any platform that you want. So right now, I'm just going to set all of these defaults to fantastic. And if it turns out that they are too much, I can always lower the quality setting if I want to. So I'm going to set them all to fantastic and then select fantastic so that the options I can see down here are the fantastic options. Now some of these settings can be changed to optimize the performance of your game. For example, in the 2D game I'm going to be building, I do not need to worry about shadows. We won't be using shadows at all. So under the shadow setting, I can change this from hard and soft shadows to in fact disable shadows altogether. And then that way our game never needs to worry about processing shadows at all. And that is an optimization that we can perform. We can just simply turn shadows off. And that's what I'm going to do here. So this overall is how to control the quality settings for your game. Some of these can be tweaked to improve the performance. We've done that in the case of shadows. And after testing my game, I may in fact come back in and tweak these default settings, maybe a little bit to something targeted to each device. But right now I will leave them as they are. So that really completes this first part of the module in which we are piecing together our project. We are laying the foundation and the groundwork for the game to come. My name's Alan Thorne and you've been watching 3dmotive.com. I hope to see you in the next part.